think that's why I want to take the next one, because I feel like...
Oh, the next one's the bomb, my friend.
Oh, really? It's good?
It's the...
Or, like, bad?
Have you watched the show?
In my crumble opinion. Hello, my crumb dumpsters. Oh, my God. Hello, my crumb dumpsters. Thank you for tuning into In My Crumble Opinion. I'm here with the queen of the Bay Area, Hennessy Williams.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. Let's just jump right into it. I love your name. It's like one of the best drag names I've heard in my entire life. It's a name that I would have chosen for myself had you not already chosen it for yourself. Where did the name come from for you?
Honestly, so it wasn't even my first drag name. My first drag name was actually also a literary reference that made no sense to anyone besides me. It was Andrew Clemens. Andrew being my favorite boy name, and Clemens being a reference to Samuel Clemens, who was Mark Twain. And so I kind of kept the literary reference again, and I was like, do I want this name? I actually had reservations at first because my ex, and this is terrible, my ex wanted, he was like, I want to name my daughter Hennessy. And I was like, that is the most whack thing I've ever heard. I was like, I hate that. And then I was like, shoot, but that is a really, really great pun. And to this day, I'm really glad I chose it. My terrible confession is I didn't read any of Hennessy Williams' plays or his works until 3 to 4 years after I started doing drag under that name, and now I love him, and I know that now that was the right choice, but that is my dirty little confession.
That's funny. I love Hennessy Williams, and I also love Hennessy.
Me
but
too.
The name Hennessy for a little girl seems wrong to me.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. That was the thing. I was like, And he was like, one named Hennessy and the other one named Brandy. And I was like, you're an alcoholic. And he was. Mm-hmm. So that is the end of that.
A lot of exes tend to be alcoholics. I've discovered that over my many, many years. So I feel like we started drag around the same time. I could be wrong. When did you start? What year?
Oh my God. It was actually, I know the exact... It was, okay, my debut was June 2017.
Okay, so it was around the same time, because my debut was 2018? January, February 2018. But I was already starting to play with makeup around 2017, so I knew that's where I was going, performing in drag. So how did you get into drag? What was your first performance like, and how did you end up where you are now?
Okay, so... I have one part of the story that is pretty stereotypical, and the other part is not stereotypical at all. Literally, I had no idea really what drag was until I saw my roommate at the time watching RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 2, specifically the talent show episode.
Yes.
I had never seen anything like that in my life. I was like, what is this? I need to learn all about it. I literally invited myself. I kind of went inside her personal bubble, and she was like, what the fuck? I just started watching with her. I just invited myself in. And then I was talking with Rita Lynn, now my drag daughter, who was also one of my first friends moving out in this area. And we just started learning as much as we could. I looked up Drag King show Bay Area. And at the time I found the only Drag King show in the Bay Area, which was the Rebel Kings. I walked in, I literally locked eyes with Vera, who was like this. I love this, in her very Vera-esque way, wearing a terrible hard front, blonde wig. And then that same night, they were like, if anyone wants in, let us know. I was like, I want in. And Vera's like, great, I'm your new dad, and your next show is in 2 months. And I was like, what the fuck? I was not prepared at all, but I was like, fuck, I guess I'm doing this now.
2 months is a nice grace period, though. Yeah. It's just not right away, but 2 months, that's enough time to get it right. That's cool. I have a very similar story. I did not watch Drag Race. So my first experience with drag was going to T-Shack back at the Stud, way back when. And then I had a drinking problem. Speaking of exes with drinking problem, I was the ex with the drinking problem. I had a drinking problem. I had to stop going out for a while, get my life right. So I walked away from drag. But I remember Drag Race being a thing with my gay roommates, and I was just like, I'm not watching Drag Race. It's watered down Hollywood version of real drag that happens at the Stud. So I was very kind of hesitant or reluctant to get into it. And it wasn't until All Stars 2, a couple of friends were having viewing parties, and I fell in love with Katya and Alaska, and it really got me. The talent show specifically, I was oh my god! Actually, actually Drag Race is sickening. And then I went back and watched like all of season 8 because I think that was happening concurrently-ish, and then went backwards and watched all of it. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, but like Drag Race is a slay, and I don't know why I was just like so like anti-Drag Race for the long time. Now it's like come full circle where I think Drag Race is terrible. Now it's like
it's a small brain to the big brain to the universe brain.
Exactly.
You go back a few times.
So there's an even bigger brain where Drag Race is cool again, but we haven't even gotten
it went that way for a few times. I was like, this is so cool, and I was like, actually, there's issues. And now I'm like, okay, but like, there's issues, but also it clearly opened doors. That's really where I am right now.
Yeah, it opened a lot of doors for queer people, I think. I mean, that's the magic, and really the project of Drag Race is like platforming queerness in this like very big way that's like not typically available in like media. So, you know, it worked on us. Wow, thanks, RuPaul. You're responsible for us.
Oh my goodness.
So Rita Lynn, your daughter, you two started drag together?
We so like Rita had actually like experimented and done some like drawing and stuff. We didn't really start together. Like I think our trajectories were a little bit different in that I kind of just hit the ground running. I just kind of like started running and didn't stop, where I think Rita had maybe a slower start and has like kind of taken breaks and stuff. But like Rita was also like much better at makeup than me when I started. I don't even want to show the first real attempt of me doing drag. Like when people are like, oh, when I first started and me now, they're not really, I feel like most people shouldn't be showing their first attempt. It's actually their like 5th attempt or something like that.
So can we together show our first attempts in this episode?
The real first attempt?
You gotta send me a real first attempt.
Okay, you know what?
I will send you a real first attempt.
I will do it. I will send my real first attempt if I'm not being like I'm not hiding anything. I need to double check to make sure I still have it. Because, you know, it was like several phones ago. But if I still have it and I will search to find it, I will put it on there. If not, I will find a very... Oh, dear God, no. Like, if not, I will find a very homophobic, like, third attempt.
Yeah.
But that first attempt, yikes.
My first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempts, I'm feeling myself so much. Like, you can see the confidence in the photos.
Oh, I love that.
And I go back and I'm like, what was I thinking? I can't wait to show everybody.
No, like the first attempt, the glue it didn't even stick. The brows weren't even down. I was ashamed. And I knew.
My very first attempt, I didn't even like try to glue my thing. I just put like light powder under. Anyways, we're going to get to that. So, who are your non-drag inspirations? Obviously, I see a lot of Western influence, but I also see a lot of, you know, cultural kind of influence as well. Are there like specific people that you look up to that aren't drag artists that influence your drag?
Okay, so this one's a little bit in between, because like, let's talk about Lil Nas X. Like, come on, isn't he's like one of us. He looks like one of us. And the suit that I'm wearing is actually, I found out about it because one of the outfits he made, I think this was maybe in his Old Town Road music video, he actually wore an outfit designed by Union Western. Was it Union? No, Western Union. I always mix it up. Western Union. And I hit them up and I was like, can you make me the suit?
Wow.
I think they said yes because I think they thought I was Louisiana Purchase. But they love the idea.
I get that. Similar names. Hennessy sounds like Tennessee. Louisiana is also a state. That's how it happened. I respect Lil Nas X as an icon. I refuse to look up to someone that is 1/4 of my age. I'm too old for Lil Nas X to be one of my idols. I'm glad that's happening for you. And people are like, oh my God, Lil Nas X is so hot. And I was like, he's a little too young even for me to think of him that way. I mean, he's clearly very attractive and has an amazing body and all that. But I'm just like, I don't know, to him, I'm like, you're who I needed when I was younger. And that to me is like a really special feeling, because there was literally no one like Lil Nas X when I was younger that I can think of that is really an equivalent in any way. Prince in a way, but I mean, I know Prince isn't like homosexual or queer sexually. Maybe, I mean, I don't know.
There's aspects.
There's aspects.
But not like the whole package, like him for me.
Anybody else?
Oh, let me think. Ooh. Like non-drag. No, I need to think about this one. I don't know why I'm blanking now. There's definitely people that like every step of the way that they've been like inspirations for me. Oh, you know what? I think definitely from performance. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of like performance inspiration I get, but it's like kind of like bits and pieces. Like I like look at the performances of definitely like people like Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga, people that just have like these explosive sort of like the way that they make choreography different and very memorable. I think also the This Is America video is just something about like when you make a piece of choreography that will stick in your brain for like forever, that is like super influential to me. But that's not really just like one specific person, that is just like the whole package. It's just like bits and pieces of inspiration that I get from like everywhere.
So like dance and pop stars, that's a big place where you draw from. Are there drag people you look up to?
Oh,
Vera,
absolutely.
Your father, maybe? Or...
Yeah, I think both the drag family, both I have like two drag families, which is interesting because it's like kind of like one is the king side and one is the queen side. So both like Vera and Mocha Fapa Latte are incredible dancers and performers, and I really love to see like when they take a big vision and like expand it. That for me is like really, really amazing. There's like so many there's so many drag people out there that I'm just like thinking about, and I'm like taking notes, and I'm just like, oh, I want to like do that, or like I'm really inspired by that. And so I could sit here and like just name names for like forever, but there's so much.
So our alarm is going off. A little bit of a preview. We're gonna do Hennessy Hot Ones crossover.
Yes!
So we're heating up some pescatarian and vegetarian goodies for us to put hot sauce on. I'm actually like kind of terrified because last night I ordered some tacos and there was a pepper that was on my plate that I thought was a jalapeno, and I bit it and it was a serrano, and I was already out of commission, and I only bit like the tip. So I'm just friend. Like, I don't know how hot these sauces are.
Oh, friend.
Yeah, but that's okay. We're gonna get into that later.
I love serrano peppers.
You do?
I do.
Do you just eat them?
I do, actually. I make a serrano pepper mac and cheese, but it's a vegan mac.
Okay, that sounds good because like the the lactose kind of, can mellow out the spiciness a bit.
Well, like it's vegan, but like it's...
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Are you vegan?
No, I'm pescatarian.
Pescatarian, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, but I am lactose intolerant.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that. Oh, lactose intolerant. I wish I was lactose intolerant because I need to eat things. I need to eat less cheese and pastries that have cream in it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to mention, so I made cinnamon buns. Okay, once upon a time, one of my first jobs was I worked at Cinnabon, and it was one of the most fucked up abusive jobs I've ever had, and I didn't learn how to bake, but I missed the Cinnabuns, so I've made cinnamon rolls a few times. I make them better than Cinnabon did it. But this time I made them, but I don't know, I ate them and then my stomach felt kind of funny. But here's the thing, because I'm lactose intolerant, it probably is just because my body's reacting to it. But I didn't bring them just in case. If there was another reason, maybe I just left, because I left the cream cheese out to like defrost.
Yeah.
So I didn't bring them just in case.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't sure.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So Angel's doing stuff. So I think this is a good time for us to take a little short break and reset a little bit. When we get back, we're gonna jump into more questions. And so I obviously did not start with like my housekeeping announcements because I'm trying this thing where it's just like jumping right into it. But before we take the break, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested in what's going on right now. Hit the notification bell. Follow me on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok. Those are the main ones. And obviously YouTube. She Has Layers on Instagram and TikTok. And on YouTube, I'm Phoebe Cakes. So, okay. Short break. When we get back, more with Hennessy Williams.
Yes.
All right, welcome back. We just set everything up. So if you didn't know, Hennessy Williams had their own show on Twitch, and it was a riff on Hot Ones, that one YouTube show with that one bald guy, and that has celebrities. But you had your own local celebrities, and now I have my own local celebrity show. So I'm really excited to do this collab with you. This is a Hot Ones takeover with Hennessy Williams. Walk us through how this works when you ran it.
Oh my goodness, it was so much fun. So I'm really glad that it gets to live on right now in this show. Basically, what happens is we actually would take like a wing or nugget together, and then while they're like chewing and the hot sauce is hitting them, I ask them the questions.
Okay.
I would play games, like I would show them pictures from this Twitter handle called Fucked Up Looking Foods, and then I would be like, would you eat it? Would you not? At the last viewing, we actually played a game I made up called Drags Against Humanity, where I basically made it like Cards Against Humanity, and it was like who's most likely to, I don't know, run a car in the ocean. It would just be like local performers that they would choose from and they would vote from. So we would play games, and then I would save the hardest questions for the hottest sauces.
Okay. I didn't organize my questions that way, but maybe we could take turns asking questions. So should we just start with the least hottest one?
Yeah.
Okay. How much do you put on when you...
It's really up to you. Like, I mean, you could douse it.
Okay,
like...
you do it for me. I don't
Okay,
mind.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I've lost fringe.
So if you can't see, we have a mixture of Morningstar fake chicken nuggets and, oh wow, you put a lot in here. Okay.
No, you can handle that.
I can handle that.
If you can't, you're in trouble.
And some free-range fish sticks. Cod, I believe.
Oh.
So Hennessy is pescatarian, as we learned earlier. So you had a fun question for me while we were on break, and I was like, save it for the camera. What was your question about?
So the question is, would you be able to do all of the exterminations on Dragula, or if you were to struggle with anyone, which would it be?
Okay, so I should take it and then answer the question.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. I thought I could. All right.
See, that's nothing, right?
It's nothing. It's very flavorful. I like it. I think a lot of the exterminations I could probably do pretty well. Like maybe like the fear ones, like getting like vacuum sealed, or the pain ones, like getting tattooed. But, like, I think I would have trouble with the eating ones. Like, surprisingly, we're eating now. Mm-hmm. But, like, eating brains, drinking blood, drinking your own vomit. Like, already just watching it, it's too much for me. I don't know if I could do Dragula, like, the exterminations at least. I don't know. How about you?
Fair. The food ones would be hard for me too, because I used to struggle with emetophobia, which is like a fear of vomiting. But doing Hot Ones actually helped me conquer it, because I had to puke during, like, I had to like be like, I need to head out for a moment, and then like literally puke and go back to interviewing. And that literally made me conquer my fears. So I think I could maybe do some of the food ones now. The one for me that literally I haven't even watched the full scene is like the needles one. I really do not fuck with needles. That would literally be the hardest one. Everything else, I'm pretty sure I could nail it.
I feel like I could do it. I mean, I don't know. Okay, let's do the next one, and then I'll ask you a question.
This one's really good. Cedar smoked garlic.
Okay, that sounds rustic. It sounds. I love garlic a lot, and I'll let you douse me. I feel like I trust you in this process.
Okay, yeah.
You've done this many a time. So you mentioned we talked about you being House of Pack and having a daughter. Do you feel like having a drag family figures is an important thing for you in your drag? How are your relationships with having a drag family?
I think for me, I really appreciate the support. I try not to be the kind of person that like only books people in the drag family. This is not shade to anyone at all. Mm-hmm. But, like, I just think that it's really great to have drag folks for support, because when you think about historically what drag families were for or, like, drag houses, like, there would literally be housing provided. There would be, like, you know, even food provided. And so I just think about, like, especially with, like, younger community members, it's like, how are you making sure that you're watching over them and then sending them opportunities? How are you making sure that, like, oh, like, maybe this outfit doesn't work for me anymore, like, let me repurpose it and give it to you, like, wigs and stuff. And so I think it's gotta be, like, a give and a take, and I would love to see, like, more drag families, like, supporting each other, because I feel like that's really powerful to see.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I'm, like, distracted by this food. I'm like, should I be scared yet?
No, I think really the first 3 are delicious. Okay. They're just good.
Okay. Okay.
This is a good ASMR episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is good. Actually, I'm now experiencing heat, though. I didn't get any heat from the first one. Yeah, I thought it was good. Mild. This one, yeah.
I feel heat,
I'm, like, nervous now because it's just like, levels. Oh, actually, I feel heat. How is it going to get 9 degrees hotter after this? I'm just, like, kind of like, okay.
They're not truly, okay, so...
It's not linear.
It's literally 2 million Scoville units at the end. And I think this is like 75,000. But it doesn't really make sense. Because this is maybe 1 million Scoville units. This is not twice as hot as this. And sometimes it also has to do with the ingredients, like the bitterness.
Yeah.
This one, actually, the Scoville units go up, but this one's a milder sauce. It tastes like a pasta sauce. To me, I think most people think this one is milder than the last one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, douse me, and then I'll ask you another question. Okay. So, I've had Benita before. Benita's been on your show, but I said the same thing to Benita. It's just like, one of the things I really appreciate about her is that one of the things I really appreciate about you is just like, I feel like we have a very scholarly approach to drag. I feel like you're always kind of like on the have the project of improving and very vocal about that. How has your drag journey been? Does that resonate true with you?
A lot. So let me tell you about that. When I first started drag, I was really scared when Vera's was like, your first performance is in 2 months. Because I didn't know how to dance. I literally never learned to dance. I got bullied for attempting to dance at high school dances. Like, I was that kind of kid.
No!
It got to the point where literally when I was in my 20s, I would still refuse to dance. It didn't change until I was 23, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna learn to dance. And my dancing is, like, I still have the recording of my first number. Haute Mercury still remembers it, and remembers when I referenced my first number again. And it is so bad, but, like, I've taught myself so many things. I'm constantly teaching myself things and being bad at it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't play trumpet well. Like, I don't do lots of dances like top rocking or like hip hop well, but I do it anyway, and I'm always like learning it because eventually I will do it well. And that's how I feel about drag. I'm always trying to learn things. Like, I taught myself basically how to sew, but that was a little bit natural, I guess, because like growing up, my parents had to like, they would like punish me for like trying to get close to the needles. They'd be like, you're gonna poke your eye out. And I was like, no, I want to sew. Like, I want to learn. Like, and then finally they let me. And then I sewed a Raven outfit when I was in 6th grade. Because I don't know, that part was like, I really, really wanted it. So I think like on the scholarly part, it's just like being like a sponge and just learning things and just not having an ego about it. Just knowing that there's always more people you can learn from. And then like always just like taking notes whenever people tell you like, oh, this is how I do this is how I do hair, this is how I like practice like my lyrics and stuff. And that's kind of how I feel about it. Is just like it's constantly a process and it doesn't end.
Yeah. So is there we don't have to get into everything, but is there something that you learned that you would bestow upon a new drag performer, something that a good tidbit of wisdom that you picked up over the years?
A tidbit of wisdom. Okay. I'm actually gonna mention this because you said like, oh, like I don't know how to sew and stuff. If you just get a sewing needle and some thread, and you can get it at the 99-cent store, some of like the littlest things that you can patch up, like it'll just save you so much trouble because you can start with hand sewing and like all it is just attaching elastic to your like to your gloves, or, like sewing. If something rips, you like sew it up. Now you don't have to go to someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Just start with that, and then literally there's also, of course, so much that you can do with hot glue. I don't work that much with hot glue, but just like, I would say just start small and see where you can go with it. And it's the same thing with like making wigs and stuff. It's like, you're not gonna immediately go to like making a Neapolitan-esque creation, but see if you can maybe add a little bit of volume. Just try it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you grow so much over the years, and I've also seen what you said, like not having an ego about it, and just like, you don't know what you don't know, and you get better at what you're going to get better at. And I have like seen you just get better at dancing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we did the Offspring show, like one of those Oakalash fundraisers last year. I just remember like, I was mesmerized. You've become such a strong dancer. So, I don't know. I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. That number I did was actually a recreation of the second number I ever did.
Really?
I remember being so scared to do that. I had to choreograph every single thing because I was like, I don't know how to dance. I mean, I was super stiff when I was doing it, but I was just having fun when I did it at the Offspring thing.
All right, let's get this next one on.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
This is where it gets a little bit hotter. I love this one. Cantaloupe melon and Scotch bonnet hot sauce. Scotch bonnet's already
melon, Scotch bonnet. Okay,
Scotch
bonnet's
already
a
hotter
type of,
than the Serrano.
a type of pepper, obviously. Oh,
I spilled a lot, but that's okay.
Okay, you could do it. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And
no problem if you need to like dab it away and stuff. That's
no.
fine. These are pretty drippy.
I want to lose my mind. Okay, I want to transcend this plane. I don't care how hot it goes. I'll embarrass myself. Okay, I'll do it for the views. Okay, so you've had a really great opportunity lately to curate a lot of things. You were telling me about royals, so let's talk about royales. But you also did transformations recently. Tell me about your curatorial process for both of those shows, and do you like producing?
I really like producing. I will say, I was producing a lot this past period. It has been a lot. I do really want to scale back and just, a lot of my, so previously I had a brunch show, I had Haute Ones, and I had Royale. Mm-hmm. I'm actually just focusing on Royale now. The brunch show, I think, we had it at 2 different locations, and both of them hit some staffing issues. Uh-huh. And I'm just decided, like, you know what? I really want to just focus on this one thing, make it really good, because I really care about BIPOC kings here in the Bay Area. Transformations was, oh man, like working, it's one thing for one person to just kind of like, be the big boss. I work so well with Edgar, who's really my partner in life. He does my posters, he does my photography, he does like editing for me, sometimes communications, but then spreading it with 3 people with like such an insurmountable like to-do list, that was really, really rough, but in the end we got it done.
Yeah.
And I got COVID, so I couldn't even host / be at my own show. I had to watch it remotely.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm so bummed because we paid for like all of these. We paid for a photographer and a videographer, and I even made this beautiful outfit that I kind of, finished it after I got sick, because obviously you can't really work when you're sick. So it was a little bit bittersweet for me, but I literally was watching the show and I was like nearly like tearing up at how beautiful these numbers were. Like, we really put something beautiful on stage. And I think it's really important to have that kind of, trans API art on the Oasis stage. So
is there a way for people to watch it?
Yeah, you can still watch it on the Oasis, basically the, the Oasis, like, streaming site. Mm-hmm. It's still on there, and we also filmed the whole thing, and we're gonna add subtitles to make it ADA accessible. That's coming out later, I don't know when yet. But yeah, there will be multiple ways to watch it in the future.
Speaking of digital content, you do a lot of digital content.
Yeah.
Haute Ones. You had your own baking show.
That's right.
And obviously, we both did a lot of, like, digital drag numbers. Do you like making digital content?
Wait, before we do that, should we get on another?
Okay, yeah, let's get on the other one.
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna mention, just now that we're we took it and I was like, oh, this is fine. But like, as I wasn't talking, I could like feel the heat building up. Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, okay, so that's gonna be a struggle for me. Okay, let's do the next one.
This one's also good. This is kind of like on the same part of hotness, Los Calientes. So it's kind of inspired by, you know, like, whoa, a feather is on my plate.
Oh,
What are
sorry.
your
Yeah,
feathers?
one of my feathers.
Yeah.
Hope you're not
Chicken.
allergic to chicken.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Little bit trippy.
So when you say, like, oh, these are all really good, this is good, you've done this a lot, so is that, like, Stockholm Syndrome?
No. Okay. I was explaining why I stopped the Haute Ones shows, and literally these sauces aren't even in, like, the 5th reason why I stopped it. Like, I'm fine, honestly, eating this. It's only the last 3 that kind of suck. And this is with me having puked once doing this, and I'm still just like, that was alright.
Puked. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to puke, but keep it rolling if I puke, okay?
Yeah.
Just keep the camera rolling. Okay. Digital content, do you like it?
Oh man. Okay. As someone with a videography background, yes, and also no, because it is just, it's so much work, and frankly, I think for a lot of us during the pandemic, it was so much work for such little, like, output, and I don't know, there was a period where I swear to God, the meta, or the Instagram algorithm hated me.
Yeah.
So it would shoot down every single thing that I would post. Like, I couldn't get past over 100 likes, and it was, like, freaking embarrassing. Like, I would get tons of follows, and just not a lot of, like, likes or views on my things. I really love the artistry of just, like, I think just film in general, and I think it's so beautiful. There's so much coordination. There's a bajillion things to think about. I don't know. I kind of have a love-hate relationship, because part of the reason why I'm pausing Haute Ones is because it's just so damn hard to edit.
Yeah. Streaming
is one thing, but editing is just like, God, you know? Yeah. So I have, like, bittersweet feelings.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into digital content. When I started, I was just like, oh, this is easier because I don't have to, like, physically go to a club and get ready and do, you know, I can just do it from the comfort of my home. No, it is so much work to do digital content. Although I do love having, like, that artifact when you're done with it, like something you could, like, cherish and share. And that's beautiful, but it is so much work. What was your favorite drag number that you did digitally?
Ooh, let me think about this one.
I want to tell you mine. I loved your sorry, the heat is getting to me a little bit. Okay, I loved your turbo pageant number, your finale that you filmed on the beach. You looked like a demon. It was crazy amazing.
Oh my God, thank you. A lot of people have mentioned the other one that I did, where it was like a burlesque thing, and I, like, spoke French, and, like, I ended it with a Netflix "Are you still watching?" but it was, like, creepy. But, like, I was actually gonna maybe say that number too, because I just wanted to do something big, and I really like the idea of, like, this demon that falls to earth, but like learns to, like, love humanity. Yeah, there's, like, a few that I really liked, but I don't know. Yeah, that one is definitely, like, I think special one for me. And like, we kind of made a trip out of it too, which was fun. Yeah,
it was gorgeous. Okay, we're going to take a break, and then we'll get back and we'll get hotter. All right, welcome back. We're halfway through, if you remember. So I have 3 chicken nuggets left and 2 fish sticks left.
Ooh.
So that's gonna get us through. What's the next one?
Oh yeah, the next one is over here. This is actually Dolly's favorite, Cocoa Ghost hot sauce. It's kind of like mole. It's got like cocoa in it.
Interesting.
It's kind of heating up.
I love that. I love the color. Yeah, it's like a rich, dark one. Ooh,
it's really
that looks
drippy.
good. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's not as bad. It's not as, like, intimidating as it looks.
Okay. So hit me with one of your questions. What's something that you would ask on your show?
Oh goodness. Okay, I put so much work into designing questions because it would depend on every single person, and I would, like, go into your Instagram, find out what you were doing in, like, 2018,
okay,
and then ask you questions based off of that. Okay, but actually, can I relive a memory with you instead?
Oh, sure, I would love that.
Do you remember one of the first times we met and you were wearing a yellow wig and I was like, what's this? Like, I was just like enamored by how you looked. I thought you looked so pretty. And then you're like, I'm following you. And I was like, wait a minute, you're She Has Layers.
I am She Has Layers. Yeah, I wore that yellow wig a lot. It was like my very first wig commission, I think, from Neapolitan, and it was for like a Sanrio, like a Gudetama egg number.
I remember that. I love that makeup look.
So that might have been when we met. I'm trying to think, but
it was at Port Bar, I think.
It was at Port Bar. Okay,
yeah.
It was at Port Bar. Yeah, no, I don't remember that, but that's a lovely memory. Thank you. I'm trying to think of the first time we met. I can't remember myself. What was the first thing that we did together? Do you remember that?
I remember that, and then I think I saw you at a bunch of things, and I don't remember. Yeah.
One of my first things that I remember doing together is I got tapped to like host the API stage for Oakland Pride, and you did that show, and you did amazing. I had this cute little thing with the buns. Yeah, totally. So I was just like, oh well, Hennessy's coming up, because I was just like, we started drag together, and just like we got to do that together. I thought it was like a big deal. So that thing.
I had that was right after my wisdom tooth surgery. So actually half of my face was kind of like misshapen.
I remember that. You said that, but you looked great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question for you. You love to compete. Or maybe you're just a glutton for punishment. But you've done so many. We talked about Turbo Pageant already. I know you've done GAPA. I know you've done some quing and king pageants. Do you like to compete? Do you consider yourself a competitive person?
No, I am a competitive person. I've tried to become less competitive because, I've been through a lot of therapy, and I've just decided there's levels of competition that are healthy and great, and there's levels that aren't. But I don't think no, that's not true. I'm the kind of person where, because I've understood myself enough, I will have mean thoughts in my head, and then I will regret having those mean thoughts. But I won't speak those out, and I'll just be really glad I didn't speak those out, because there were times where I was like, at a pageant, and then I got like last place or something, and I was like, wow, I was full of shit, but I didn't speak it out, so it's all good.
So that's good. Yeah,
exactly.
Some people speak it out,
and that's not good.
No,
that's not smart. Don't do that.
Inside.
Keep it.
Yeah,
keep it
totally.
Inside.
Yeah, keep it to yourself. Do you have an arch nemesis?
No, but I was thinking of making a joke. I actually it was with Richie Richport, and I was like, Richie Richport, you should show up at one of my drag brunches, and we could literally have a fake argument, and then we just start lip syncing.
That's a good idea. That's a good person to do it with. They're from an actorly drag family.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the next one. I'm like eager to like feel more.
Oh no! This next one. This is we're gonna feel more. I feel this one all the time. 13 Angry Scorpions.
Okay. Well, that seems like a good title for the next question.
Yes.
Okay. 13 Angry Scorpions. Do you experience discrimination in drag, either from being a queen or, AFAB or an Asian person? Is that something that you experience in, drag spaces that aren't always...
There is at least one venue where I'm just like, man, I don't know about this crowd. But it was weird because everyone kept misgendering me, and like one girl even told me to like move while I was in her photo that she was taking in the drag, like with the drag people. Like she wasn't like, get out of my photo, but she was like, give me space so it can be about me.
Oh my god. Can we say what the venue is, or you don't feel comfortable? We can bleep it out if you just want to say it, and Angel and I will know.
Okay, I mean, let me think. It was and
okay.
I don't know, I don't know. It could be a lot of things, but it was a really weird experience because I looked like this. I literally had like my nipple piercing and muscle suit. I think I was wearing probably like this suit, and I was just like, what about me like says like you don't pass and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, the whole like thing as like an Asian person is really, really interesting because especially when I'm a queen, like I don't pass ever when I'm like out of drag, but I think sometimes I kind of pass, like, in an androgynous way when I'm in queen drag.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting because, like, sometimes I've noticed at certain bars I will get treated better if I'm in drag than if I'm not.
Mm.
But, you know, it's one of those things where, like, it's so subtle and stuff that I don't really want to, like, I don't want to, like, call things out and name names because it's a feeling, you know?
How about, do you feel like audiences respond differently when you're, like, presenting king versus presenting queen?
You know, it's really interesting because when I started with Rebel Kings, obviously the Rebel Kings audience love kings.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it's been a little bit iffy at different crowds, but it's really hard to say because now that, like, so many people know me, they're just really excited to see what I'm doing. Sometimes I get more hype if I'm doing, like, a king number and it's kind of like a specialty thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, it really depends. I do validate anyone that says, like, oh, as a king, like, I get tipped less, or, like, you know, XYZ. For me, it's been really dependent on the venue, on, like, the crowd, what day of the week it is. It's hard for me to really spot a trend. Yeah. But I also, that's not to say that, like, my experience is the experience. I think, like, there's a reality in kind of the disparities of, like, bookings, the audience attention, tips, and I think all of that is very real. Yeah.
Well, you do great navigating all of that. You always give your all, no matter what venue. I had you at K. Cole, and I forgot to tell people not to get on the banquettes, but you got on top of it and jumped into the splits. My heart almost jumped out my chest. Oh my God, my butthole fell out. I was like, oh no. But
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're great. I loved it. But that's what I'm talking about. You just always, like, give it your all, you know. All right, let's the next one, and then I'll ask a question.
You're good after that one?
I'm okay.
Wow, damn,
it's good. I definitely feel it. I had to, like, think about it a bit. Okay, I'll ask a question first, and then we put the next one. Have you been watching All Stars and Queen of the Universe, or
I have
no?
not.
You have not?
I stopped watching. I haven't watched since. Honestly, I haven't watched since Rock'em Sakura's season.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched anything since.
That's okay. It's hard to keep up. Yeah. Like, sometimes you just drop off. You know what? The heat is coming back. It's like maybe there's
slow.
a seed that was stuck in my tooth, and then it just, like, found its way out. Yeah. I think that's why I want to take the next one, because I feel like
the next one's the bomb, my friend.
Oh, really? It's good. Or, like, bad.
Have you watched the show? It's the bomb.
Okay.
This is the Idris Elba.
Oh, yeah.
This is when he's like, this is the one that turned him into a meme. Mm. He's like, oh God, what is that?
Okay. But Melicia's been slaying Queen of the Universe. I've been trying to practice, like, my gagging for you rendition.
Oh, that's actually a lie.
Do you sing?
No.
Is that something you would like to work on in your skill set journey?
If I could teach myself dancing, but I will say I had a little bit of even though I was like, I didn't practice, I've done martial arts for a lot of my life. I've also just been very flexible. Okay,
I've seen some martial arts. That's good, because I want to, like, build a whole roster of people that do martial. Speaking of Militia also does martial arts. Yes! I'm just like, we should do, like, a martial arts show. I would love that. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Wait, was the question just, do I sing?
Oh, would you like to learn to sing? And you were talking about?
Honestly, I was like, I wonder if I could get to the point where I could, like, kind of rap.
Okay.
But I don't know if I could sing. I don't know. I know you don't have to be good at it. Yeah. That's one thing where, like, I would be so down to take lessons, but I just don't know if the amount of effort into, like, me singing would translate as much as, like, you know, kind of like a gag where you're, like, doing a number and then you pick up the microphone and you do something. Like, I do that with the trumpet. I could maybe see myself doing that, but I wouldn't just, like, sing a whole number, I think. Yeah. I think I'd be more entertaining elsewhere.
But you said you want to learn to rap. Do you have rappers you look up to? Lil Nas X, obviously.
Oh,
is that
yeah.
why you want to rap?
You know, I think it's the poetry aspect.
Okay,
like, rap
yeah.
is poetry. I love...
Totally.
You know how, like, Rap Genius, or, like, actually it's just called Genius now, you, like, look into the lyrics, and
Yeah.
it's, like, referencing, it's like, oh, yeah, this person, they're referencing when they were homeless when they were 14, they're referencing some fine art references, some Renaissance shit here, now they're referencing high fashion. That shit is, like, so geeky to me. My thing would be I would rap in 4 languages.
4 languages? Do you speak 4 languages?
Yes, but I only speak 2 of them kind of badly. Yeah.
What are the languages?
It's, I took several years of French, so I'm, like, mostly fluent. And then I kind of get by with Spanish. I'm around a lot of, like, Eddie's family members, and I could survive if you dropped me in Mexico right now. And then Chinese, I'm really, really rusty at, and it's the only one I can't read or write. But I know enough to, like, if an Uber, like, I don't know, I can respond to, like, my Uber drivers or, like, people at restaurants and stuff. I would literally be fluent if it wasn't for trauma, so thanks, family.
Yeah,
but...
thanks, trauma.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, should we eat it? Okay. Uh-huh. You put a lot on this one.
I did. I was honestly, like, you've been doing good. I think you can handle it.
It's good. I think having that serrano pepper last night has really, like, helped me. But my butthole was on fire earlier.
Oh my goodness.
My boyfriend at home, he thinks that having, like, a fiery butthole is a myth. Because, like, I guess he could eat spicy foods and not have his butthole on fire. But, like, my butthole will be on fire a little bit. Does that happen to you? Sorry, this is a bad question. This is a bad question. I can't think right now.
It actually doesn't, but I get stomach aches.
You get stomach ache? Okay. I also get stomach aches.
Look, I finished my water. I have nothing to prove. I'm gonna go for the oat milk.
That one's hot. Okay, so, well, that one is hot. Hennessy, if you could change your drag name, what would it be? You said you had a drag name before, Hennessy Williams.
It was Andrew Clemens.
That's right, Andrew Clemens. Is there another name that you would also be happy to have?
You know what? I've thought the idea of an alter ego and stuff before.
Oh no.
What?
Nothing, it's just like, it's very hot.
Yeah, no, I took more than I usually take of this one. It is, like, hitting in the back of my throat.
It's like night and day.
Yeah, I gave you a lot with that one. Okay, so I will say this. There are, like, I've met 2 different Hennessy Williams, and that's their, like, legal name. One of them is actually a well-known comedian. Woo! In, like, Louisiana or something. The other one is a photographer, and he's, like, a fan of me. So I'm like, can I in good faith trademark my name? I do think it'd be cool. I want to create... So, my legal name is, like, Amy Fan.
That's right, I know that from Venmo. Some people's Venmos are just, like, their legal names.
But, my parents gave me a Chinese name that is actually the only name I consider a dead name. It's not my legal name.
Okay.
But it's a dead name to me because of the way they used it, and also, I just don't like it. Okay. So I want to give myself a masculine or androgynous new Chinese name. I know one part of it would be...
Do you have, like, regular milk? I don't think that milk's doing it up.
Oh, dear. Dude, look, I'm crying right now.
I know. It's good.
This hit me in the back of the throat.
Well, that's a good one. You did put a lot of that.
No, yeah, I gave it to us.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this. Yeah, so...
It's just, like, kind of crazy how, like, it goes away and then it comes back. It's not, like, constant.
So it would be cool to, like, have something that, like, is kind of in my culture, but I haven't thought about it super deeply.
Yeah. I mean, that was my thing when choosing my drag names. I kind of talked about it in the last episode, or 2 episodes ago. I thought I would be Fizzy McGuire, because Fizz Face, yeah. I really like that. And then, it's just like cream cheese, like what?
Yogurt.
Oh!
You. Yogurt is helping. Do you want a spoon? Do you want some yogurt too?
No, but I'll take more oat milk. Look, I'm like out.
Okay, helping. Where was I? Oh yeah, and Celine Neon was my other one. But but Celine Neon. Like instead of Celine Dion, Celine Neon.
Love that.
So I landed on Phoebe Cakes because the actress Phoebe Cakes is Filipino, and I wanted like something to reflect.
Wait, the actress Phoebe
Cates.
Cates.
Yeah.
I never knew that actually is where your name came from.
Yeah, some people realize it kind of late, but to some people of a certain age, it's like very obvious. I remember Heklina heard my drag name and was like, "No one's gonna get that. They're not old like us." I was like,
"Oh, jeez." But I mean, I do really like your name. There's not that many drag Phoebes, you know?
No, there aren't. I like the name Phoebe too. I like Greek.
Yes.
Greek classics.
Speaking of
mythology.
Greek, wait, when is this going to be airing?
Next week.
Next week.
Okay, never mind. It's too late for it to plug my show, but it's all good.
Okay. What is your show anyway?
So this Thursday I came up with this concept. I thought it was so witty. It's called the Greek Gods of EDM. Everyone is doing an EDM song, and everyone is a Greek god, and we're all doing like numbers. And there's a costume contest. It's Greek themed, and the winner will get a $100 not gift card. You're just gonna get a $100 bill from me from my bank account because I'm so invested in this pride party.
Is this Royales or
Okay, it'll be at El Rio.
Well, when's the one after that? So people know. That
one, I haven't officially announced a theme, but I will tell them. Actually, no, I'm gonna announce it at the show anyway. It's gonna be the Spaghetti Western show. Ooh. I'm gonna say it's August 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, August 3rd. And we're gonna have an amazing cast for that one.
I asked this one already, so we can put it in. Oh. Okay.
We still have 2 more to go through, but if you want to stop, we can stop.
No, that's okay. No, I want to do it, Hennessy. I want to see how far I can go. All right, let's do the next one.
Okay, let's do this. This is the worst one, in my opinion.
Okay. So, what are the things that you said for upcoming drag performer? Well, excuse me, I'm like burping. I don't know what's going to happen. Can you get me another Boochcraft? Actually, I think that like helps too. Start small, like with things like sewing or doing things yourself. Is there something that you wish someone had told you when you first started drag that you had to learn like later on?
Ooh, wait. So to explain that one, you mean something that I wish someone had told me that I need to know and learn? Yeah. Oh man. You know what? Yes. And
wait, before you answer, should we take it?
Let's take it. Yeah.
Okay.
Fringe.
Oh my god.
We can do this. Okay, this is the nastiest one.
It's so weird. Like, I'm just thinking about cartoons where, like, smoke is coming out the ears. It literally does feel like that. It literally feels like heat is coming out of my ear. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's a good fish stick.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, no.
So, this is really embarrassing, and I have a really embarrassing confession.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing that I'm kind of truly think is cringe from my earlier drag days is I was late a lot. I wasn't on time. I didn't always submit my music on time. And I'm a little embarrassed to say it wasn't until actually a good friend of mine, it was actually Polly Amber Ross pulled me aside and was like, hey, I want to let you know this affects people and this could prevent you from getting good gigs, and just like explained her perspective as a producer. And now as a producer, I have that whole Google Forms thing. I'm chasing people down. I'm never mean about it, but now I understand why. And I'm embarrassed because my younger self didn't understand. And it also helps now that I'm medicated with Adderall and Ritalin, which I started, which is actually my drag daughter's name. That's a joke. So that's actually one thing that I want to explain. Like people are like, oh yeah, like be like on time. And then when you have ADHD, sometimes you need to like know why. But like, Yeah, I think folks should definitely know, like, to, you know, like, be respectful of the producer and know that sometimes, like, a lot of things are, like, you know, like, there's stakes to things, and the reason why this is due a week before is for things that you can't necessarily see, but it'll make things a lot smoother, and they'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you're able to help with that.
One thing I've noticed, I like going, like, queens are this way and kings are that way, but it's just, like, the kings that I book for any of my shows, they're always the first ones to get their music in. And they title it with their name and, like, which order they want. You will get a track from a queen that's just, like, a series of, like, characters. And it's like, what is this even? And then, of course, it'll come the day of, too. I'm just like,
You know, one thing that I noticed from kings that are also burlesque performers, people like Papuchurro and Sergeant Device, is, like, burlesque sometimes has their own system of doing things, and some of them are organized from that. But I also, when I heard this stereotype, I was like, I need to be that stereotype.
Yeah.
So the opposite thing happened, where now I submit things early, like a week in advance, and I'm the person bitching like, oh my god, they didn't get my stage notes right. I have my trumpet, you can't fuck this one up. Like, it's actually, like, I have a number that I'm like, if you fuck up the stage notes, like, I'm kind of actually screwed, because I can't play the trumpet if I don't have the trumpet in my hand. But anyway, like, now I'm that person because I wanted to be the stereotype and be that king that was on time.
Okay. I feel like the one before that one was, like, worse than the one that we just took. Do you feel that way?
These two are different in different...
Yeah.
They're bad in different ways, because this one has, like, a burn, and then this one that we just took, it's just nasty. It's just bitter.
Yeah, it was bitter. Yeah. Should we do the last one?
Let's do the last dab, yeah.
Okay. You said this one was, like, 1 billion Scovilles. Like, what is it?
It's 2 million Scoville units.
2 million.
Yes. And to compare, the one we had before that is only 1 million. So it's actually double that. But it doesn't feel like it's double. This is actually... People usually think that this one is not as bad as the last two we have.
Okay. Well, that's good. Great. Excuse me. I'm like, my body's there. Like reacting internally. Oh, wow.
Do you know what the Scoville scale means?
I feel like it's all made up. What does it mean? I don't know.
Like, there's capsaicin, there's Scovilles. I mean, like, Scoville's a person? Like, what?
I guess it's like heat units.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I can tell you about that. There was, like, a little chart that came with my package that, like, would tell you the Scoville units of each ones. And that's why I know that it's 2 million Scoville units. But, I mean, everything's made up if you think about it.
Do you have any more questions for me? Anything you can think of before we take this?
Where do you want to take your drag future? Because I see you producing all of this shit. Like, I see you doing some really cool experimental drag and curating a house. The House of Cakes is doing a lot. Where does Phoebe Cakes want to take her and her house?
I need to have a clear vision. That's a really good question to ask me. I mean, I want to be the most successful drag person I could possibly be. Just being able to create and sustain a life doing that, you know, and by that I mean, like, make money doing it, is really important to me. But I don't want drag necessarily to be, like, a job. So I've thought about doing drag full time and what that might look like, but, like, hustling to, like, get gigs and then, like, making sure all those gigs are, like, as lucrative as possible. I'm already feeling that a little bit, doing my day job 4 days a week and, like, drag on my off days now. I find myself as, like, well, I need this gig to be, like, lucrative for me. Or it's like, I could only take this gig because I know, you know, I can make money off it. Or I'm gonna, like, stack gigs on top of gigs. Am I supposed to do it? Okay. So the goal is to be someone like Darcy, where it's just like, I have a business that's drag adjacent, or that is drag, platforms other performers, but also opportunes me the freedom and financial kind of, like, faculty to, like, do and create things. You know, Peaches Christ is another kind of, like, person, you know, that does that.
That's a dream.
That's a dream. I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, feel like Tito has accomplished that with Princess as well. Mm-hmm. You know, to have something regularly uplifting the drag community, but also, you know, is a livelihood, would be a goal of mine. So I don't know what that looks like exactly. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I have auditioned for Drag Race. That is something that I would like to do, just because, you know, if you're going to do drag, you want to be, like, the best of it, the best there is. But I also love doing this YouTube show, too. So if I could, you know, find a way to make this lucrative as well. Thank you. Thank you for asking that question.
Of course.
I actually don't think that was that bad. I mean, not yet. Last question for you. Do you have a controversial drag opinion?
Oh, boy. Can I actually get another napkin? Mm-hmm. My nose is dry. I feel like I'm actually physically reacting more than you.
Yeah, it's I think I'm okay, because I had that serrano pepper last night. I had it last night.
To the pepper.
Yeah, I had it last night, and I was like, okay, I think maybe this is good, like, kind of practice. This one wasn't that bad. It was this one that was like, I don't like you.
But. I don't know how controversial this is. Mm-hmm. I think that there's all types of drag, and that's really valid. All types of drag. I am not interested, however, me personally, in seeing drag performers just spend thousands and thousands of dollars, often going in debt, wearing these other designers' clothes.
Yeah.
That don't even really necessarily reflect their style of drag. For example, and you know what? I don't want to, like, just be like, oh, look at me. But, like, this is actually one of the only costumes I have ever commissioned. Everything else, I've either made it, embellished it, or just, like, made it from scratch, or something like that. And this was a collaborative process where I was like, I want an East meets West sort of thing. I showed references of, like, I was, like, you know, inspired by things like The Crow, like, kind of creepy and stuff. And so, like, there's place for that, and I also think, like, you know, people benefit from, like, commissioning things. But when it's all it is just, like, this designer outfit, thousands of dollars, that, to me, is not nearly as interesting as seeing, like, the crafty queen just whip out something out of garbage. Yeah. To me, that's the beautiful essence in drag, and I want to see more of that. I'm less interested in just, like, all of the money and stuff. And a lot of times you can do more with less. And so that's really what I kind of want to see. And I think another thing that I really like about Bay Area drag is seeing people do more with less, and also commissioning their friends, not necessarily wearing the runway. Yeah.
I agree. Oh my god. Well said.
Thank you.
This has been wonderful. Thank you. We've been drag compadres, co-workers for a really long time. Oh my god, but I don't think we ever, like, spent, like, time like this together. Yeah. So it was really, really nice to get to know you. And we're neighbors. And we are neighbors. We should do this more often. Yeah. Maybe not, like, with the hot sauce and stuff. I'm just, like, maniacally just, like, painting my tongue.
So it works.
It does work, I think.
Cool.
Will you help me read my patrons?
Yes!
Okay, so we got Allie Scat.
Anita Bump.
Bevo Nerd.
Bella.
Butter Mamone.
Chris Hendricks.
Clark Alexander.
Diana.
Freddie Seipolt.
Kai B. Michaels.
And Tara Bull. Thank you so much for doing this with me and doing the hot ones with me. I love this. And it was really a pleasure to get to know you better.
Yeah! Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Okay. I got popsicles for us. Okay, good. Ooh. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't leak out my nose. I was kind of afraid that was going to happen. I see that happen on TV.
Could the camera catch me crying?
Yeah.